All right. Good morning. How we doing? We got you over from the shade? Who else is in a blazer today? Listen, there's not a lot of people that give me in a blazer when it's 100 degrees, but when the gov calls, you put on a blazer. So welcome to beautiful Falls Park for an exciting announcement that the governor and her team are going to make here in a minute. To kind of set things up, we intentionally set up here so you can kind of see in the background what $500 million in projects looks like in our downtown between Sharapa and the Steel District. And year to date, we're at just north of $600 million now in building permits here in Sioux Falls. Economy is cooking for a lot of different reasons. And one of those challenges, though, when you have an economy that's growing this fast is trying to find people to fill jobs. And we have grown in Sioux Falls. We're 210,000 people, so we're now the 121st largest city in the country. So we're growing. We added about 6,300 people last year, but even with that growth, still hovering around that 1.7, 1.8% unemployment. And so we need bodies, and we need people who want to come to what I consider one of the greatest cities in the country. So to do that, we invest in quality of life projects, we invest in the park, we invest in just keeping the city safe with crime and public safety, keeping it affordable, keeping taxes low and so forth at the state level. And so we want to continue to get that message out. And so you're going to hear some of that today on efforts to do that that are led by our governor and her team. So without further ado, I would be honored to introduce. Thank you.
Good morning. Well, it's wonderful to have all of you here in beautiful Falls Park and to see people enjoying the outdoors, but also recognizing the growth that our state is celebrating. This is a unique opportunity for us right now. We have seen South Dakota the last several years continue to enjoy success when other states have struggled. We've seen our businesses stay open when others were challenged with overburdensome regulation and mandates. We chose to empower people with personal responsibility to take advantage of opportunities, and we are thriving because of that. We have one of the fastest growing population rates in the country right now. Incomes are going up here faster than virtually anywhere else. We recently have celebrated the lowest unemployment rate in the history of the nation, which means that South Dakotans every day get the chance and the opportunity to go to work and to do what we were created to do, to fulfill their purpose of serving each other. And it's better for us not just physically, but also mentally and spiritually. And that is proving out in our statistics when it comes to mental health and to suicide prevention and even our drug overdoses. For the last 2 out of 3 years, we have seen them go down when so many other states are struggling with increasing challenges when it comes to really living happy lives, serving each other. So those are all wonderful things going for it that we're thrilled about. But one of the biggest challenges that I've heard for the last 2 years out of our small business owners is that they need workers. That we've had businesses move to our state, the existing businesses that were here had the chance to expand or take advantage of new technologies, and that they needed a skilled workforce. They needed individuals who could come and fill those jobs to really create opportunities to keep our kids and our grandkids here in South Dakota close to their families. In fact, the last couple of years, you've heard me over and over again say that we have around 25,000 open jobs and that we needed people to fill those. As we started to recognize what was happening at the national level and people being willing to move for jobs, they just didn't know where they wanted to go, the state decided to be very aggressive. We made a decision as a governor and as a state to go out and tell our story. Make sure that people knew that when they came to South Dakota, they did have opportunities, that we were investing heavily in scholarships, that we were going to be aggressive on apprenticeship programs so that people could come here, get a job in the field that they wanted. They could enjoy health care and retirement benefits at the same time, and we would train them to get the career of their dreams at the same time. And not only that, our wonderful people cared about hospitality. We would help them find the perfect school for their children, a home in a community that they loved, and that was the type of service that they wouldn't get from any other state. You've seen some of this marketing campaign. The marketing campaign is called Freedom Works Here. You've probably seen the TV commercials. You have probably seen some of the mailers, the digital ads that have gone out, and they have been specifically targeted to a population in this country that wants to come to South Dakota and be like us. They want to come here and live in a state, in a community that we already have. They just needed to know that they could pursue those opportunities here with all of you. Since we have started this marketing campaign about 4 weeks ago, over 350 million people have seen the campaign, watched the commercials, and have heard the story about Freedom Works here. We have 3,777 people that are actively working with our job service individuals in our Department of Labor right now. That means that they actively went on the website, responded and filled out applications, have communicated with individuals here about where in South Dakota they want to live and potentially raise their children. We have 765 that are in the final stages of really finding their home here in South Dakota, just in the last month. Just in the last month of people that said, South Dakota sounds fantastic, I want to be there, and are engaged in this process. That's only the folks that are working directly with our Department of Labor through this program. We have no idea really the real number of folks that saw a commercial and happened to look on LinkedIn or looked through another resource or called a job professional that they knew in the state to see what opportunities may be here. We saw several years ago when we aggressively marketed to law enforcement individuals in the state, over 1,000 law enforcement officers make requests to move to South Dakota. And they did. They picked up their families and came here because they knew that if they moved to South Dakota, they'd be respected. That we had believed in law and order and that this would be a perfect place for them to be. They reached out through different departments. I know the mayor had several reach out to his Sioux Falls Police Department. They reached out to Pennington County Sheriff's Office, worked through different offices. But from what we've been able to gather, over 1,000 law enforcement officers just from that campaign made South Dakota their home. We know that all those other avenues are being pursued through this marketing campaign as well. So it's not just the individuals that are working specifically with our Department of Labor. There will be long-term cascading impacts of this marketing campaign that we're excited about. We want to grow in South Dakota because we want to create careers and jobs and opportunities here that our future generations can enjoy. I don't want people to have to move across the country to get an opportunity. I want them to have a career and a job right here in our state so they can stay close to their mom and dad. They can stay close and those grandkids can grow up right down the street from grandpa and grandma. That really is my dream and what we've been trying to pursue ever since I've been governor, and I'm excited about what we're seeing with this marketing campaign. This has already been the most successful marketing campaign in the history of the state just in the last 4 weeks than any other marketing campaign we've done through the entirety of what the state has done. So that's fantastic that during this time when so many people turn on the news or listen to the media, it's negative news. This has been good news for them, and I think they've enjoyed laughing at what a bad plumber I am as well, and get a little scared by the fact that I might be a dentist sitting in a chair someday if they have to go in for a procedure. So I think that that is wonderful that people see a little bit of South Dakota and they get the chance to smile and think, you know what, I'm going to check that out and see what might happen in that state if I choose to move there. So today we're here to make a big announcement. Because of that marketing campaign, we had individuals that decided they wanted to help us grow even faster. In fact, up to 200 miles an hour faster. Individuals from Nascar and a team reached out to us and said, we love your campaign. We love how you're embracing blue-collar workers. That is our heart as well, and we want to support you, and we want to do what we can to promote South Dakota too, because we love the fact that you stand for freedom and that you're working to get people into jobs and embracing the good old-fashioned value of a work ethic. And when they reached out to us, they gave us an opportunity that we just couldn't pass up. Today, I'm pleased to announce that the Freedom Works Here campaign is partnering with Live Fast Motorsports to sponsor a NASCAR stock car. So we are going to unveil this car right now. We've got Vanna White behind us. This is a show car that this team has put together that will The car that races will look a little bit different. My face will not be on it, which I'm extremely grateful for. But they sent this car up here with us today to help us market this campaign. And what is so exciting about this team and Live Fast Motorsports is that they are helping us promote our workforce initiative as well. This car will be in South Dakota for at least the next 10 days. It's going to be out at the Sturgis Motorcycle Bike Rally, the entirety of the rally. It will be sitting at the Buffalo Chip, and over 500,000 people will get the chance to see it, talk about it, look at the marketing campaign, and really understand the opportunities that are right here in South Dakota because of this partnership with this team. We are so thrilled that they reached out to us and that we were able to make this partnership happen. Now, the driver, BJ McLeod, could not be here today. I understand he's training to win the big race with our car. So we're going to let him train and do that, but we are thrilled that he's our driver and had the chance to really spend some time researching him and his success and his heart with the team and all that they're doing, and we're excited to partner with them. This racing team is going to be racing for South Dakota small businesses who are trying to fill their workforce needs and meeting the needs of our business owners here to continue to grow and to help those workers that really want the career of their dreams. Because at the end of the day, this campaign is about them. It's about people. And we're excited that they'll be doing that. This car will be racing in 2 different races coming up, and they're big races that will get a lot of attention, and the team will be advertising our campaign on their social media and talking about us as well. I'm a big fan of NASCAR, so I'm excited about this. My dream, most people probably know, is I would love to build a NASCAR track here in South Dakota. So I still have that to do before I'm done being governor. But this is an exciting partnership for all of us that I think is a chance for us to tell our story in an even bigger way. So with that, I'd like to invite some special guests up here to share some of their thoughts, some of our business owners. We have Eric is with us, who's going to share a little bit from Terex. And Terex is a company that we see a large presence and investment recently up in Watertown, South Dakota. And he's going to talk a little bit about some of the workforce challenges that they've seen the last several years and really what they think this workforce campaign will bring to them and the opportunities ahead.
Hey everyone, my name is Eric Kluver and I'm Vice President and General Manager of Terex Utilities, which is headquartered in Watertown. I'd like to start by thanking the Governor and her staff for inviting Terex to this exciting event. Terex definitely supports the Freedom Works Here initiative and commends the Governor for really driving residency and added employment in the state. We all know that South Dakota has a lot to offer. I personally graduated from Watertown and started my professional career there, not too far from where the new Terex Utilities factory is. I worked around the United States and internationally, and recently came back to South Dakota due to everything, all the things that South Dakota has to offer, and because Terex is such a great place to work. We're really proud to be one of the major manufacturing employers in the state, with over 1,000 employees between our 3 locations in Watertown, Huron, and Canton. Also, we have a very U.S.-based supply chain, and most of that is within 500 miles of here, which means that many of our suppliers are in South Dakota as well, and they also need workers. Terex has been headquartered in South Dakota since 1970. Since then, thousands of our teammates and their families, both at Terex and our suppliers, have built their future here. We're really proud of the fact that we build, manufacture, and service equipment that's used in the national utility grid. Line workers go to work every day using our equipment to keep the grid and electricity reliable and available throughout the country. Over the past 5 years, Terex has invested considerably in South Dakota, both with our new factory in Watertown, doubling the capacity there, also significant investments in Huron, and at our Bidwell road paving division in Canton. We need more people to take advantage of those investments. We have the infrastructure, but we need people to fill it now. And that's why we're so supportive of this initiative. Currently, Terex has 100 open jobs in South Dakota. We plan on having up to 200 in the next few years, and we need people to fill those jobs. We're looking at jobs from welders to assemblers, installers, engineers, and more. We have very competitive pay and benefits and a culture that is focused around safety, teamwork, and work-life balance. Like many of the other companies in South Dakota, we've really been impacted by the low 1.8% unemployment rate here, and the Freedom Works Here campaign is a really good way to help tackle that problem. So in closing, I want to thank the governor and her team again for having us here and for driving this initiative. Thank you.
We also have the opportunity to hear from a plumbing company. Hander Plumbing is here, and I'm going to ask Chris to come up and share a few words. They were one of the very first companies that as soon as they saw the first ads, they called us up and said, how can we be a part of this? How can we get referrals from this? In fact, I think we've already referred a few people that they've been having conversations with on coming to South Dakota. So if you'd welcome Chris up here to share with us, I think that'd be fantastic.
Thank you, Governor, and thanks for having us out here today. My name is Chris Felsinger. I'm the CFO at Hander Plumbing and Heating. With me here today, too, is Ryan Hander in the back. Ryan's a third-generation owner and operator of Hander Plumbing and Heating. We've been in the Sioux Falls community since 1986, and we employ around 100 people or so right here in Sioux Falls and the surrounding communities. You know, we have been lucky to operate in a community in Sioux Falls, as the mayor mentioned, the cranes behind us, and everything that we have going on here in the state and right here in Sioux Falls. And we love to hire people that are right here in Sioux Falls. But the reality is, with our low unemployment, is we can't find the people we need, enough people we need. I think Ryan would tell you we would hire 10 or 20 plumbers today if they, and you don't even have to be a licensed plumber as long as you want to be a hard worker, and we have a path to get to that point. But we just can't find enough people to fill all the jobs that we need right here in Sioux Falls. And so we've tried to do a little just outreach ourselves. We've had a little bit of luck hiring a few people from other states that come into Sioux Falls and they stay here. You know, they earn an honest living and do well. But when we heard about the governor's initiative here, we just jumped all over it, and they're just real thankful for what the state can bring. You know, we can only do so much ourselves, and we get the state behind this, and we can really hopefully make some headway. And so, you know, Governor, I just want to thank you and your team for this initiative. We enjoy working with you and your team, and we look forward to bringing some more people right here to South Dakota and the Sioux Falls area. So, thank you very much.
You know, what we've been able to do here in the state recently to give people access to the careers that they want really has been phenomenal. I know we've got a couple of state legislators here that have helped us pass some bills and legislation. Sue, if you'll raise your hand too. But that's just been wonderful to have partners in the legislature that are willing to go out and to help support apprenticeship programs, scholarships, that give us some opportunities to recruit a workforce that wants to stay right here and thrive. Now, remember, an apprenticeship program is where they can come, even if they're 18 years old or if they're 40 years old and need to support a family. They can get a job that pays them a wage. They get benefits, health care, but they also get a free education to move up into another level of licensing that allows them the chance to get a $40 or $50 an hour job, to get a higher paying opportunity to provide for their families. We also are recognizing out-of-state licenses. We have many, many stories that have come into the Department of Labor of people that heard about this program and said, yeah, but I can't come there and be an electrician. Like, yes, you can get to work as an electrician now because of the reforms we pursued in the legislature the very next day. You can come here and be a plumber the next day and get to work. That recognition of out-of-state licenses has been a phenomenal change for us and opened up new opportunities to recruit people that can help us continue to grow and grow in a smart way. So we're appreciative of that. I'm going to invite our Secretary of the Department of Labor to come up and share a little bit more about this workforce campaign with you, some of the statistics. And I just want to thank Marcia for her leadership. She is someone who not only is very, very good at getting plugged into their career, but she also loves people and the hospitality of it, and the people that she has working in her department are able to tell their stories that even seals the deal for so many of these people that are looking to come to South Dakota and be a part of our way of life. Come on up, Marcia.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us. Before I start, the people that do the real work and in the field taking care of this are here today as well. So would everybody from labor raise your hand and wave so everyone knows who to talk to? Thank you. I appreciate you all so much. As part of the Freedom Works Here campaign, the Department of Labor and Regulation has been doing what we do best. We have been helping individuals. Staff from across the state are helping folks from across the country explore the opportunities available right here in South Dakota. I'm a fourth-generation South Dakotan, grew up on a dairy farm West River, and there's nothing I'm more proud of and love more than my home state. These folks are answering questions, lots and lots of questions. They're answering questions about communities, about job opportunities, about licensure, and about the weather. Many questions about our weather. But you know what? We are answering these questions as proud South Dakotans, giving honest and accurate information to those looking to relocate to our state. Currently, our staff are working one-on-one with 675 freedom seekers. This is a historic number. I have been involved with the Department of Labor for 26 years, and I've been a part of a lot of marketing and recruitment efforts, and the numbers we've seen are surpassing anything we've ever seen before. Word from my staff is the individuals they're working with are very positive and have quality credentials. Word from the people we're working with say they can't believe a real caring South Dakotan is reaching out to them, and that we are so willing to find the answers when we don't have it. While we are thrilled to be working with so many, we also realize that we can't quantify the hundreds, maybe thousands, of folks who are simply doing the job search on their own, planning their futures in South Dakota and preparing to make the move. So a very sincere thank you to you, Governor Noem, for having a little fun with these ads and for capturing the attention of the nation.
Before we close here and to open it up to questions, I wanted to read to you a statement that I have from Live Sports. They were not able to be here because of BJ's training and getting ready for the big race. But I did want to read to you a statement that they sent to us that they wanted to share with us because they so much wished that they could be with all of you. Live Fast Motorsports is proud to welcome FreedomWorksHere.com as a partner for the 2023 NASCAR Cup Series races at Richmond Raceway and Bristol Motor Speedway. On behalf of Team Live Fast, we want to thank everyone at Freedom Works Here for partnering with us this weekend at Richmond and then later this season at Bristol, said co-owner Matt Tift. We're excited to unveil the Freedom Works Here car number 78, Chevy Camaro, and we bring recognition to the opportunities that are there in the state of South Dakota. Live Fast Motorsports is welcoming the South Dakota company onto the car to help raise awareness of the economic efforts that South Dakota is bringing to their people. We appreciate what South Dakota is doing for their people through workforce initiatives while providing a beautiful state to build the American dream. I look forward to partnering with them and spreading the message of Freedom Works Here, said the driver of the 78 Chevy Camaro, BJ McLeod. Tune in on Sunday, July 30th at 3 p.m. Eastern Time on USA to see the number 78 FreedomWorksHere.com Chevy Camaro take on Richmond Raceway. And I hope you'll all be cheering the car on and this fantastic team that's partnering with the state of South Dakota. So with that, I think we'll open it up to any questions that you may have on this, and anyone up here is willing to take a few questions as well.
How much is this cost?
This is a $5 million program that will run through Labor Day, and it is a combination of ads that you've seen on TV, digital ads that are targeted specifically to individuals that we have modeled that are interested in living in South Dakota. There's mailers that are going out as well. We've set up a call center that's working with each of these individuals one-on-one that Marcia's overseeing through the Department of Labor. And then they're also going to be going out there and working hard to make sure that we're calling them back and getting the feedback and answering their questions on their communities. So one thing that I would like to do, which I think would be great, Joe, is bring up Chris Shulkin, who is our Commissioner of Economic Development, and he'll talk a little bit specifically about the program itself, how he's overseeing this marketing campaign, and how it's specifically targeted, if that's okay. Chris, why don't you come on up?
Thanks, Governor. So part of this program that we see happening is, so we're out talking to businesses that want to invest in South Dakota. Their biggest need is workforce, and we hear that all the time. So over the last 3.5, 4 years, we've seen billions of dollars of investment here in South Dakota, and to keep that going, workforce is number one. So when you look at the cost of this campaign, really when you look at it, it's the investment into the businesses that are here investing in South Dakota and keeping the billions of dollars in investment for that future generation and keeping the momentum going here in South Dakota. So we look at this campaign as a sophisticated campaign that has actionable items on it that can really get the people that want to come here to South Dakota and join the workforce into the labor, into their system, and put them into the workforce. So from that standpoint, this is why we view this campaign as very successful. And right now it's slated to end in September, and we are looking at ways to partner potentially with businesses and then our economic development partners to keep that going in the future. So hopefully that is an answer to that question.
And this was rolled out here for $5 million. It sounds like this opportunity for the race car came after that. So is the deal with the racing a part of the $5 million, or is it just on top of it?
So we do have other marketing contracts that allow for other marketing activities that have been out in the past. So our Freedom Works Here campaign, this is other marketing dollars, but it ties into the general overall marketing campaign that we have set out to do. So, yes.